G'day folks, welcome back to Enshrouded, and welcome back to the Albaneve Summits. We are still looking for all of those balefires. In fact, I have just perched myself out at the Silkfrost Garrison balefire here. I know I did end the episode at the Rime Rock balefire, but I sort of saw the god rays this morning coming over the peaks of the mountains here, and I thought maybe this is a nice place to just start the episode. We'll do a little bit of backtracking and try to get ourselves to the next balefire, but goodness me, this game is just so beautiful, isn't it? The devs have really outdone themselves, I feel. Alright, so, off we go, and in this episode I feel our goal is going to be to light at least one more balefire. Maybe even two, who knows, we'll see how we go. But I at least want to do that initially, and then we'll move on to, I would say, wanting to speak to one of our craftspeople to see if we can grab more quests, because surely there's a few more quests for us to do. We did have a chat with Balthazar the other day and learned a little bit more about the gem crafting situation, or gem slotting situation. Someone did leave a comment, and I do really appreciate that comment, saying that there are some decent weapons in the Albaneve Summits to, you know, try and grab, and we should try to do that. I don't really know where exactly, but I didn't read the comment in full, so perhaps maybe they do mention it in there, but that's alright. I'll eventually figure it out. We're not super desperate for, you know, a weapon that can take a gem slot, but definitely at some point, considering we are, you know, towards the end game, we'll probably do want one of those weapons. And obviously a decent type of gem to go with it, obviously. So, yeah, just a little bit of backtracking initially, guys. Apologies. Yeah, I won't worry about, like, defeating absolutely everything that I see. But once we're up at this balefire, the idea is we should be able to tell which way to go from that balefire, because the clue is you should be able to see all of the balefires from, well, at least one other balefire from a balefire location or garrison. So that's the plan. So I'll see if I can just do a shortcut here, jump up this way, get rid of any pesky rats that are around. Okay, so... oh no! Oh, that's a problem. That's a problem. So, I'm gonna have to return back home and restore our rested buff. But I think what I'll do is I'll get halfway up there. We'll put the flame shrine down. Yeah, it is really punishing if you don't have the rested buff, that's for sure. Okay, we'll just chuck it there for now, and yeah, we will return for our stuff, obviously, but I'm just gonna go home first and have a sleep. Arguably, perhaps maybe I could have killed one of the enemies, or a few of the enemies in the camp over there, and just had a sleep in their tent or something. Actually, I don't need to sleep, I just need warmth. So, if I just hang around here for a little bit. This should be enough, I think, 20-30 minutes. So, let's head back out there. Yeah, so I'm thinking I might have a chat with Oswald. Oops, this is the wrong spot. Apologies. That's where I want to go. Yeah, so Oswald I will have a chat with, and we'll see if he has additional quests for us. Because obviously we are keen on trying to get everything unlocked, basically. All the things that we can craft unlocked. Probably should have a sleep here. Got 17 minutes in terms of warmth. But yeah, I suppose I shouldn't be too cheap about it. We can always make all of this stuff again anyway. Yeah, so those bats were our undoing. There's another one over there. Okay, so hopefully we're now safe. And now we need to sort of figure out the next garrison to try and find. And I'm thinking maybe that's the direction we want to go. Another thing that we could do in this episode, and perhaps maybe it could take the entire episode, is to see if we can find the next spire. But I figure maybe that is the pathway that we need to take. There is a little house over there. Initially I thought perhaps maybe we've been there already. There's a cave passage, and then there's what looks to be some kind of a ruin. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure if I should be going down there, or if I should just skip all of that and try to glide over this way. Yeah, I'm gonna try my best to glide over there, to be fair. I'm just trying to look at the available pathways. There's a pathway that sort of leads in that general direction over there. Don't know if that will lead us to the garrison, but let's see what we can do by just going this way. I feel like I'm seeing some shroud there, and goodness me, this is a fossil of a dragon, I think. So we should be able to get like fossilized bone or something from here. No obvious pathways that I can see, but... So there's a skeleton excavation camp over here. Which, since we didn't glide all the way, we may as well just check out very quickly. Full of rats. Skeleton discoveries. When we found solace from the snowstorm here, we were simply glad to have shelter. We just deal with these rats first, though. The outcrops left and right looked like stone formations, though through the blurring winds. Only just now did I realize that we weren't surrounded by stone, but ribs. Real, giant, well-preserved ivory ribs laying amidst a set of 6 limbs. We've decided to settle and take samples, mostly because Fran is thrilled to research the skeleton. She calls it Oni, because the letters look like a tailed animal with 6 limbs bowing down to drink. She's smiling ear to ear while brushing dust off the cartilage, but I can hardly look at her. The gashes on her face are still fresh, and I fear they're my fault. I might as well have scarred her face myself. Maybe letting her stay will allow me to repent. Lorraine Krim. Alright, let's have a look around. Wildwater Basin. It's a pathway leading up here, which is interesting. Where's that cave passage? I guess the cave passage is somewhere way further away. So, I'm just curious to see if this is the same material that we've already gathered before. Yeah, it's just simply fossilized bone. Okay. Let's just follow this pathway for a little bit. Ooh, that's a lot of amethyst there. Might be a decent spot to mark down. Because I think we are going to need to gather up some amethyst soon. Yeah, that is the balefire that we were just at. Okay. I think this is sort of leading us back there. So the question is, how do I get all the way up to where the spire might be? Since the pathway isn't exactly obvious, I think we might need to rough it to try and get there. Either that, or perhaps maybe the pathway could be up through that way instead. Could be. Just drop that there. I'm sure we'll find our way eventually, though. Yeah, definitely see a structure right ahead of us. I suspect that is one of the balefires. Ah, here we go. Here's a pathway. There's a pathway down that way as well. I guess maybe these connect. I'll try to stick to the pathway a little bit, because that's going to just help us run around a little bit more continuously. Okay, got enemy garrison here. Okay, good times. Anything up top here? Suppose not. Yeah, very, very small, like, checkpoint, almost. I guess more of them will be up there when we eventually get there. And I'm seeing Shroud in front of us, which... Can we go through this Shroud? This might be... This might be not possible. Which would be a very big problem for us, obviously. Let me... place this down. Just in case we need to come back here, which I feel like we probably are going to need to. Yeah, Deadly Shroud. So... Does that mean we can't make our way up that way? Unless the way is on the other side of the mountain. Which, you know, could be likely. I do see the spire up there as well. Why don't we make our way back to this side? We probably don't need two of those flame altars back to back, side by side. And yeah, the idea is we're going to see if we can try and find a pathway, maybe past the fossilized bones over here. Because it seemed like there could have been a pathway that sort of connects, and perhaps maybe there's one that leads on top of the mountain. Maybe towards the obsidian mine? Bit more coal. Yeah, it's gonna be difficult to tell, you know, which mining spot is for coal and which one is for obsidian, but it's going to have to be a hit and miss situation. Right, so... do I go through the mine to try and get through? Not sure. Not sure what the best option is. So there's Shroud down there. Caves. I could try and check out what's going on inside the cave over here. I have a feeling that I've been through this area before. And yeah, it was pretty much just a dead end. There's a huge coal vein here. This is definitely not the way. I am thinking maybe what we could do is we could try to go back to the spire and re-glide our way back here. And that might sort of help us see whether or not there's a different pathway to try and go through. I don't know if we need to go up this way instead. Or perhaps maybe our only option is to try and upgrade the shrine. The shrine? The flame shrine. Let's set that as a waypoint. And that's sort of our goal. And we'll just see whether or not we can actually glide there. Seems like a bit of a challenge though. So right through here. I wonder if it's better if we try to go through this area. I see some haze, perhaps maybe a shroud area up this way. Yeah, okay, so that takes us basically all the way back. Yeah, half the time with this game is trying to figure out where to go pathway-wise. Surely there's a way to get to the actual fossils. It's all the way up on the mountain, apparently. Which, I'm not entirely sure how to get to. So we did see that pathway earlier on. If we backtrack a little bit, I want to see if I can take that pathway right now and see where it leads us. Maybe it doesn't connect after all. More amethyst. One thing that we haven't really seen too much of, though, is silver. I mean, we have one place we can go to try and get silver, but it's not really a huge amount, though. Okay, so I'm hoping by traversing through here we might reveal a little bit more in terms of where we need to go. Nothing really useful here, I don't think. Sun's going down. Someone had a bit of an accident. Huge amethyst deposit here. May as well mark it down. Okay. I do know where we are. This is near, I think, one of those cyclopses that we defeated. Quiet caves. So I'm not 100% sure how to get up there, but likely it is going to be removing the shroud. And we might find a way up on the other side of the shroud. I mean, we could always build up there, but that's probably not ideal. So, let's head back home. And I did say, you know, I wanted to get one more balefire, but I don't think that's going to be possible at this point. Perhaps maybe the balefires are further north. There's definitely one more here, I reckon. Which means we're going to need to take a look once more at how to upgrade the flame. So we need more sparks, we need obsidian, silver bars, the fell dragon youngling head. Which, strangely, I don't know how to get that. So that could be a big problem. Wolf's Bane, going to be pretty easy. Slaying the corrupted beast. Yeah, okay, so we need to find all of the balefires to get to the corrupted beast, though. So if that's the case, perhaps maybe the idea is we wouldn't find all of the balefires further north. Maybe the balefires are elsewhere. And then I don't know where the corrupted beast is going to be. But again, it's likely safe to assume that it's not going to be further north. Alright. Well, we might need to continue exploring. Let's get rid of the knight, and the next thing I'm going to do is just have a quick chat with Oswald and see if there are any interesting quests that he's got for us. And I feel like this has been very unproductive so far. But at least we've sort of discovered what is and isn't there. Oswald. Hello, sir. Oh, hang on. Where'd he go? Why am I not able to spawn him? Can we find him elsewhere then? Maybe he's in his room? Yeah, there he is.
Really? Right now?
Together at last. Is it really her? Do my eyes deceive me? By the fire, she's so tall. I still saw her as my little girl. No, I'm not crying. I must have gotten soot in my eyes. Look away. I need a moment. Okay, that's it. There's no new quest lines or anything. Do we have currently a steel one? Is that it? Yep, we do. Just double checking because mining that ice actually took me a while. I was suspecting perhaps maybe it was because there's a better version of the pickaxe, but not the case. I'm just looking at whether or not there are any other crafting options with Oswald as well, which we might want to think about getting. A lot more decorative items, and they've excuse me, they've really outdone themselves with adding a lot of kitchen-related items. Salon sign, interesting. Okay, there's probably nothing that I really want from Oswald. Let's check in with this guy. I forget his name.
I
Olden.
expected you.
Bones buried under sands of time. You've come far, but we must go further. Delicious fear escapes them and travels from beyond the veil to my little ears. Reach the tired sands in the east. Raise them further. Glide. Gather. Gain. Kindle wastes. Hollow holes. Don't know how I feel about doing some hollow holes right now. Shepherds of souls? You're bright-eyed and naive, Flamebearer. Even in the face of encroaching darkness, you wish to save the realm, or perhaps to preserve whatever beauty is left in it. The butterfly resting on an unmarked grave, the tattered leather-bound tome written in a forgotten language, memories of the past, frozen in time. Well, your hope is my feast. From a fellow shepherd of souls, hear this. The abyss claws at our sepulchres, and swallows are fallen, leaving only a void. You cannot quench its thirst, but you can cut off its tendrils. Let's check that out.
Of the darkness.
Gaze into the void. Alright. So plenty of other things to try and do, but I really want to try and get the balefire business done. So I wonder if I should have a chat with Cade. Does Cade have anything new for us? Got an exclamation mark there. Braylon returns. Is that one of my aunts I see? Fantastic. Marvelous. And not just my aunt. Braylon, my favorite. Thank you, Flameborn. When I tasked you to search for my family, I was half joking. Into the new year. It's a new year, fresh start, and I've been thinking, wouldn't it be nice to celebrate while we can? I once knew this trader who'd come by the low meadows. May. She had a lot of decorations for the Lunar New Year. Her route was always the same. I wonder what happened to her. Okay, so I guess this is just sort of decorative stuff that we might be able to unlock. That's fine. Plenty more to speak to, but I think we've had enough of chatter, and I'm gonna try and see if we can just continue our exploration. So I think it might be a good idea to try and uncover whatever is lying in this general direction. And perhaps maybe we might come across a balefire or two. So let's do that. Yeah, not as easy as I thought it would be finding these balefires, unfortunately. If I'm going astray though, and if any of you guys know, do enlighten me, because I'd rather not waste too much of your time either, watching me sort of fumble around. Alright, so problem with this spire is that it's just right next to this gigantic mountain, which doesn't help. I guess maybe that's the reason why we can't really uncover stuff on this side. I do see light over there. Perhaps maybe another spire? Okay, where are we? I think we're on the mountain path that's leading somewhere where we haven't been to, I assume. Although we have been to this quarry before. Hang on, is this the quarry? The quarry might be... Yeah, it is the quarry. I've definitely been here. My aim is to sort of go further north here and perhaps maybe reach the obelisk. Have we been through here? Perhaps. Bit of shroud if we go through there, but it is a new path which we've never been through, so I say we risk it. We have the chance of putting down a couple more altars, and I feel like that's probably a good idea to just place one down here just in case we don't end up finding a way out of this shroud. And another light, which would indicate another spire over in that direction. Oh, look at that! I'm still not entirely sure what to do with the legendary runes just yet. I'm not entirely sure if I should have already found out by now, or what the deal is there. Okay, let's take a look at all of the spoils. And I'll obviously take another skill point. Good times. And it looks like this is a dead end. Deadly Shroud down there. Unless maybe there is a pathway to the side. Nope. Deadly Shroud as well. Maybe there's a pathway up this way. Well, look at that. Maybe we might find a spire. I hope we do, in fact, because I could do with a little bit of direction right now. So there is another pathway right there. I assume that's the only direction that we can go to. Just cleaning things up a little bit. I will eat this, actually. What do we have here? Painting. Wall tapestry piece. Cool. Again, running out of space for stuff. It's a nice vantage point, this. I wonder if I should be gliding, but the trouble with gliding, though, is you do sometimes lose sight of interesting little tidbits. So, whoops. I think what I'll do is I'll just glide down this way. This is the pathway that we're supposed to take. So, we will continue on our way on the ground. Just at the very least to experience it for the first time, you know? We can always glide around later. If I need to get back, I don't think it's too difficult to respawn from our previous altar and just, you know, sprint through the shroud. So there's all of that there as well, which we can definitely traverse through. Let's try and get ourselves to this obelisk. So we'll change our objective a little bit. And maybe if we're lucky, we'll spot the balefire from somewhere. Bittermelt Lake. A very cool looking spot, this. So this obelisk is somewhere in that general direction. Which, now that I think about it, do we need to glide up there? There could be a need to do that. Or, I've just realized there's a cave here. Yeah, there's definitely a pathway. Forgotten Temple. Okay, well, this was not what I was expecting. But I'll take it. I'll take it. May. That's all it says. Something else here? Oni. Oh, they're all flipped to on now, so I'm sort of hoping that that does the trick. Although I do see, I guess that's a door up there. We need 3 more locks to activate, or Polaris. What does this say? Orpheus. My guess is that whatever's through there will lead us out to the top of this mountain. It's worth seeing what happens if we turn all of it off. So, one of the lights have disappeared now. Okay, so that's now on. Could it be... Okay. All 3 need to be on. And that lights up. Ooh. And that's lit up there. And then it goes back off again. Okay, so each and every one of these has its own, like, pattern or rule that we need to follow. I don't know if there's any clue in the stuff that we've read. Because I can't discern anything from it. There we go, that was a lucky guess. So we just need to do one more. Nope. Oh, there we go. All of them have to be off. So... very interesting. I mean, if you guys, or any of you guys watching this are looking for a guide on how to get in here, this is the guide for you. So that's the first one on the left there. This is the one on the right, all of them on. And then the second one on the left is just the middle, and then the last one on the right over here is all off. And we're through. Dragon Wing. Look at this. A level 37, and it does have a gem slot as well. That is badass. Okay, so... it has 43 power. This one is 31, but I can actually, you know, upgrade this, I think. I don't know if you get... oh yeah, here. We've got +6 at every level, I think, and then plus the gem. So we should be able to level this up so that it does more damage than what we currently have. It's probably not the best thing to use right now, but we need to make sure that we keep this. And yeah, we're going to need to find a gem for it. Unfortunately, this temple doesn't exactly lead us out to the very top. So yeah, we still have the obelisk to try and get to, which I guess we might need to glide there instead. I mean, I don't mind trying to glide there if we can figure out how it's actually done. Can I perhaps glide there from there? Maybe that's not such a good idea. Maybe I do need to just get myself back to the watchtower. Another cave system here. I wonder if this would lead us to the obelisk. Since we can, what I'm gonna do is just drop this in here. So we can come back quickly if it turns out this is a dead end. More amethyst in here. But I did mark down heaps and heaps of amethyst elsewhere. I guess I should still mark it down though. heaps of mineable resources here, apparently. Okay. Let's see. Are we near the obelisk? Not really. But there seems to be a whole bunch of other stuff here. More excavations. Oh, maze map piece. Sure. And that has now drawn a big question mark over here. Interesting. I'm guessing we're looking for maybe a fossil of some kind. I'm just looking in that direction to see if I can find the corresponding spire, but I don't really see it. That must be a new spire over there. Okay, let's go this way. 'Cause, yeah, this is sort of where I wanted to go, which is the obelisk. I still don't see it though. It's below us, apparently. There. Stapelia starflowers. What the hell? Are those perhaps the night resources that I've heard so much about? So I know there are probably a few things that I haven't seen because I just don't hang around at night as much as I should, but yeah, anyway, I'm really happy that at least we found this, and instead of finding ourselves another balefire, we've at least, you know, scratched something else off of the list. Let's try and interact with it. In these windswept summits, we sit among the crags and tips of daggers, hallowed by pure snow, to seek understanding, to reclaim the unity of our kind lost in the fog. What a wide and whistling land, what a quiet echo, helpless and shattered. Our minds are frozen in place, unmovable, unreachable by reason or compassion. We are split like valleys, lined by ivory cliffs that pierce our sides, contort our beings and force our hands. Some of us will rise, some of us will stay. The eldest will be pure, the youngest lost and melted into new shapes. We are no longer one. We are twin flames dancing to different melodies. There you go. Alright guys, so considering where we're at, I think this is maybe a good place for us to call it an episode. When we return, I think what I'm going to do initially, and I might try to do this off camera, but I'll collect our flame altar from there, and we'll continue to search this area for clues And I think we should be able to cross the lake to then get ourselves to a couple of other interesting things here. Another flame shrine. And my guess is that we'll find another spire around this area. Soon-ish, I think. I mean, I see something over there. Is that a spire, or maybe it's one of the balefires? Who knows? There seems to be so many of these pillars of light now. So, oh my goodness, look at that. Is that some kind of a castle on a floating rock? What the heck? Alright, so much to do. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Drop me a like if you did. Stay true, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.